seeing videos of these women, like, with their horrible dating experiences makes me not want to date at all. So I'm just gonna not date for now, probably for the next, like, 2 years, and I don't care if I'm 30 and you call me expired. I don't care, like, I'm good. I'm good here. I'm at peace. After being in a 9-year relationship, I realized that I was never in love with that person, and I'm sure that that person never really loved me either. That relationship was based out of toxic behavior, toxic love, and manipulation and narcissism. And I'm just thankful to not be in that relationship anymore. But I realized that sometimes we're with a person that is so, like, toxic to you, but you give them so many chances and you start becoming toxic as well, and it really makes you feel so bad about yourself because they're telling you that you're, like, not good enough, but they're still with you. I don't know, it's weird.
Well, Esther, do you think that you had a part to play in that? You know, on her previous video, when she was talking about looking at other people's, looking at their experiences, women specifically looking at their experiences in the dating market and how everything is going so terrible, and because it's going so terrible, then I'm just going to go stay single. And the first thing that came into my head was, did you ever ask those women what their contribution to the relationship was? Did you ever ask them how they showed up in the relationship, or was it all the man's fault? Did you ever ask them, to maybe take accountability, like maybe not even accountability, but take stock of what was it that you did? And of course, here's my answer. Just a few scrolls down. Just a few scrolls down. That was my answer. All of y'all are going to have the similar or the same experience because y'all refuse to take accountability. And this is why men prefer to stay single.
You really think like your guy friends needed a woman in their 30s?
I'm in my 30s. Yes. I think that my male friends that are currently not in relationships are some of the saddest niggas that I've ever seen.
To you.
Yes,
to you.
to me.
I'm not thinking about the things that y'all are thinking about. I'm cool with, hey, I got paper towels, I got Chinese food napkins. I'm gonna wipe these Chinese food napkins. I'm not thinking of that as my version of happiness. Can I get some pussy?
And that's sad, right? Because
To
after
you.
you get the pussy, you're still alone.
Only if I can get her out of here because I want to be alone.
If y'all want to be sad and bitter and act like you're happy, then do that. That is your life. Like, have fun with that.
Men like to have sex. We also like popularity. We like fame. We like different bitches. When we're single, that's what we're doing. When you're single, no like, yo, I can't wait to get in a relationship with one of these girls. That's not what we doing. We enjoying life. We chilling.
Y'all wait until y'all in y'all 40s and y'all 50s and y'all already done been used up by the whole town, and now you want to settle down with somebody. Nigga. Somebody please be with me. Because if a 30-year-old nigga is not settling down by 30, but he's settling down in his 40s and his 50s, who's he settling down with? Because the internet will also say that you shouldn't be settling down with your age because they're bitter, they're aggravated, and they're aggy, and they have all of these negative attributes because they've been with niggas for so many years that was just playing. They was just having fun. Like, y'all don't see like how this is the reason why we're in the divide we're in right now, because y'all still having fun when is just trying to be dead ass serious.
Ladies, if your man is in his 30s, or if you're wanting to date a man in his 30s and he's still single, pay attention to those red flags. Pay attention to those red flags. I just saw a TikTok of a girl who was dating a man. I think she said he was like closer to 40. And she dated him for 2 days. 2 days. And left because he didn't know how to treat a woman, Once you get to that age, you should know. You should know. So if they are still in their 30s and they're single, never been married or anything like that, that in itself is a red flag to me. So definitely keep yourselves guarded. Maybe go for younger, maybe date your age. I don't know, guys. It's rough out here. I understand. But pay attention to the red flags and leave. Leave the second you see a red flag. Get out of there. Okay, ladies? I love you.
You know, these modern women really do be thinking that they sound deep. Her caption here says, a man in his 30s that says he isn't ready for a relationship is like a farmer waiting for rain, but never planting seeds. Why do you think that he didn't plant any seeds? Do you think that maybe he did plant seeds? It's just that maybe he's planting in the wrong soil. And so therefore he says, this soil is not fertile. I will plant my seed somewhere else. Think I'm going to go get my passport. Or why don't you date a woman from your area? I tried to. Nobody in this town wants me. So I went the next town over. They didn't really want me. I went the next state. They didn't want me. So I went even further. And so I met a woman from Chicago. But you live in Kentucky. I know. But it seemed to be only one, because I was in y'all face for years trying to get y'all to like me, but y'all didn't like me. So, I mean, y'all wasn't ready for what modern women want to do is they want men to wait around and be ready on their time. But when they're ready, then they come to a man, and a man is looking at them like, no, not you. And you know, honestly, another thing that you can think about is when a man says, well, I'm not really ready for a relationship. Once again, are you asking the questions? Hey, why not? You're 30. Don't you think that you should get married at some point in time? You want a relationship. You're telling me, if you find the perfect woman, you would want a relationship. So what's stopping you from, being ready? Like, what are your concerns? What are your reservations? Right? You would want a man to ask those questions. Why are you not asking those questions to a man? To try to see where he's at. Oh, because it's all about you. That man might say, well, I'm working, I'm trying to build. Here's where I currently am in my career, and I'm just trying to get to that next level. If he's still like relatively in the beginning stages, and that's not what you want, you could say, oh, okay, well, just keep on working and you're going to get there. But if he's in an area, in a space that you would like and you're comfortable with, then that's when you say, well, there's a lot of women out here that would be okay with the place that you are in your life right now. I mean, you don't have to be a millionaire. Like, you just do your thing. Keep on working, keep on improving. Shoot, that's where I am. I'm working and I'm trying to improve, but I'm still looking for somebody to connect with. That's a wall that you just knock down. It's, oh, okay, wow. And all that other stuff, you just start kind of, conversing back and forth and seeing if you guys are on the same page. See if you guys are willing. Oh man, I'm like I'm a supervisor right now, and I'm working to be a manager. Oh man, why are you down on yourself? A supervisor is a really good thing. That's a really, really good thing, man. In no time, you just told me about your goals. In no time, man, you're going to be here. Oh yeah, you think so? Yeah, I do. Really? Yeah, I do. That's how women speak life into men. And a man goes and gets it. I just listened to a man, millionaire, right? He clown a lot. He clown a lot. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's very extreme in a lot of things. We talked to some of his family members, and there's some tension there, but he doing his thing. He said, man, he's a millionaire, multimillionaire now. When I was down, man, and I was struggling, working 12 to 15 hour days, my woman would speak life into me. You got this. I've seen you do it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know what you do, but you can do it. And that gave him the strength that he needed to keep going. Modern women don't know how to speak life, especially not that type of life, into their man. So if a man is learning how to be emotionally intelligent, you need to learn how to speak life into your man.
A lot of guys who are in their like mid to late 30s and who have not settled down yet, maybe they like have never been married, they can't keep a serious relationship. They use this excuse that they are so busy with work that they can't have a girlfriend or they can't have a committed relationship. There's obviously a lot of things wrong with that. Number one, they're basically saying like their job is so demanding and so hard, you wouldn't understand. You and your job could never understand how hard they're working. And it's like, no, your job is not more important than mine, and you don't work any harder at your job than I do. You just have a fear of commitment. For example, my fiance is the founder of a company. He works all the time. He loves to golf. He's involved in organizations. He has a healthy social life with his guy friends, but never once have I felt like any of those things have gotten in the way of our relationship. He's very communicative. He is very committed and he prioritizes me. And I've never once felt like any of those things have ever gotten in the way of our relationship at all. I feel like some guys, all of that sounds really overwhelming. So they just don't even try. They don't even try to make the commitment. And trust me, I've dated people who have said, you know, I'm just prioritizing work right now. Work is really stressful. There's no way I could balance having a relationship and working. And my mistake was I worked so hard to prove to them that like, I'm not a burden. Like I wouldn't be taking up any extra time for them. The thing I wish I could go back and tell myself is that I could work as hard as I possibly could, but there's nothing I could do because that person just isn't emotionally available and they're never going to commit. So my best advice if you're dealing with somebody like this is not a project worth taking on. Cut your losses while you can and focus your energy on people who actually want to commit to you.
And you know what's funny about this is if a woman said the same thing, if a woman were saying this same thing, everybody around her, ooh, go girl, you a queen, you a boss, ooh, girl, get it, you just so revolutionary. When you coming out with a course, when you coming out with a book, teach me your ways. I'm going to sign up for 12 weeks at $3,000 a session. I'm going to waste my entire salary just to learn nothing but go based on vibes. If a woman said this, cheering her on. Focus on yourself. Be a boss, babe. Go to your happy place. But of course, when a man does it, when a man says something like this, then all of a sudden, red flag, toxic. A man in his 30s that's single, he's not dating, he must have kids. Nope. He must have baggage. Nope. The baggage that I do have, I'm working through it. But no, I don't. Y'all hate that.
Reasons why men are single, still single, after the age of 30. Listen the up. If he is still single after 30, there is a freaking reason. Probably not because he's just picky. For one, he wants a girlfriend. He does. He wants a girlfriend, but he does not want to put in any of the effort to do so. Or God forbid he needs to delete the roster. Number two, which is a giant piss off, he thinks therapy is for the weak, but his communication is absolute shit. Like, sir, if anyone needs therapy, it's you. Number three, he's chasing 22-year-olds or 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds. Baby girl, he is the problem. But not least, he almost dated someone amazing. Now, he either fucked it up, fucked her over, or just wasn't ready at the time, then now he's freaking scared to try with any other amazing girl. Ladies, please send this to a man if he needs to see it. And fellas, if this hurt your feelings, it was probably meant for you.
Well, I think, and go with me here, guys in their 30s, just try to hear what I'm saying. Maybe you don't agree. Guys in their 30s are single because they spent their entire 20s building their wealth, building their career, building their body, and they don't want to throw it all away on a girl that, well, honestly and truly, somebody like you, who I think in another video she was talking about, well, you know, I have two men that are interested in me and they're in love with me. What do? So you mean to tell me I spent my 20s trying to build wealth, trying to build a career, trying to make sure my health is at some sort of peak, even if I'm not in the best position, some sort of good position, to where, you know, I feel pretty good waking up in the morning and nothing's aching, right? And you want me to come over here and listen to drama, listen to, oh, I'm triggered about this, or I get the ick about that, worry about you going out there even though you say you loyal to me and get knocked up by Chad. No. There's a lot of men out there. And I know you probably don't believe it because of the made up male loneliness epidemic. But men, there's a lot of men out there that are happier single, and they save a lot more money.
Many women I know have started dating women. 62% of men, right, under 30 not trying to date. What's happening?
And that is men mature later. A boy's prefrontal cortex is 18 months behind a girl. The girl is basically competing against a 10th grade girl. Boys have better gross motor skills. They're faster and stronger. Girls have greater fine motor skills. Their hands, their oral skills, asking questions. Look at the behaviors we promote or encourage in primary school. Sit still, be a pleaser, be organized, raise your hand. Mm-hmm. You just described a girl. When you digitize the mating market, people used to meet through friends, through work, and through school. Now they primarily meet online. When you digitize the mating market, you end up in the following environment. 50 men on Tinder, 50 women. 46 of the women will show all of their attention to the same 4 men, which leaves 46 men fighting over 4 women. This discourages men. And unfortunately, they have a very seductive, godlike technology telling them they can have a reasonable facsimile of life online. Why go through the effort of having friends when you have Discord and Reddit? Why put on a tie and try and get a job when you can make money trading crypto or stocks on Robinhood or Coinbase? And why would you go through the effort of looking good, smelling nice, the expense, the resilience, the potential rejection?
Somebody here in the comments said people are overcomplicating this. They really are. Says the answer is simple. It's just not worth it. I'll keep living alone in my 2-bedroom flat, make a modest wage, pay my bills, and enjoy life as I see fit, and answer to no one in my own home. Sure, I might feel lonely from time to time, but after years of depression, I finally got a handle on my life and grown to love myself. I need only to look at the world around me, right? Okay, I see you. To the few people that I know who are in relationships or married or to random couples in public and see it just isn't worth it. I can see they are worst at their worst. They're miserable. And at their best, they're enjoying a brief span of things being tolerable before the burden of relationship consumes their lives again. Single people are happier. Love is delusion. Somebody else said, she's not yours. It's just your turn.
I find it so funny when I meet a man who is in his 30s saying things like they want marriage and kids and all this, but just not right now. Like, okay, so when? Like, when you have gray hair? Because I'm just trying to understand, like, if you're in your 30s and you're not ready, like, that's a red flag. But then it's also a sign that they're just not the right person for you. Because if they were the right person for you, they would be ready when you're ready, right? Yeah, it's just so funny because it's like, okay, you're not ready now, but by the time you are ready, like, that ship's gonna sail and no one's gonna want you. So interesting.
Right. Did you ever ask any other questions? I notice modern women, what they do is they'll sit up here and get mad at a man for not asking questions. Like, say, for instance, if somebody has a baby, oh, what's the baby's name? How much did the baby weigh? What's the baby's birthday? What color is the baby's hair? How long is the baby? How many inches? Right? Is it a premature baby? What's the baby's first, middle, last name? Who's the godparents? all that other stuff, get mad at a man when he don't ask that, but the stuff that they should be following up on, they don't. And when men say maybe you should follow up on this, no, I didn't even think about that. Oh, so you thought to ask about when Sandy and Luis were getting married and all the details, but you didn't think to ask if John and James were trying to run a two-man on, and it just happened.
I just wasn't expecting guys to still be so immature in their 30s or be so scared of commitment.
And that is because men have adopted a very specific mindset that until they are very confident, financially stable, and they have figured their lives out, they will not settle down in a relationship, because at the end of the day, they will bring more to that relationship than when they were 22 or 23. If you have a man that is 32 years old, he can comfortably date a woman who's 24, he can comfortably date a woman who is 40, it doesn't matter. But you have to understand something very important. Men will commit at pretty much any age. They just have to be very certain that that is the type of woman that they want to commit to. When men know, they know very fast.
One thing, and I don't mean this in a way to like take a dig at women, when I see these videos of girls being like, you know, oh, these men are in their 30s, or, you know, they're not looking for anything serious. I don't mean this in an offensive way, but I think a lot of girls have to think really deeply and put themselves in a man's shoes. There is no true incentive or benefit for a man to go and legally go marry somebody or go into a committed relationship if they have somebody who's willing to basically do that same thing, you know, while they're still not technically committed, if that makes sense. Not all of the time, but most of the time, and I would say probably 90% of the time, it is advantageous for women to be in relationships most of the time. Yes, I'm not saying it's easy, but in terms of the economy, it is more than likely you're going to have things covered. At worst, if you're dating one of those horrible men, you're going to have to pay 50% of your bills. For most men, they don't see an inherent need to go and date because they think, logically speaking, what do I gain from doing this? On average, and I definitely think in some cases it could be way more than this, men are spending about $15,000 extra every year by trying to be in a relationship. That's essentially as if you had another mortgage or rent payment every month just by trying to maintain a relationship. That is why when I see these videos of women complaining about, oh yeah, you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and you still can't commit to somebody. Yes, are there some losers out there that still like want to be a frat boy and, you know, go and hook up with a million girls? Yeah, probably. But I would say definitely majority of the cases are men that are sitting there just going like, what do I really gain from dating this girl that I don't really have right now? Because I've never understood that logic that, oh yeah, you're 35, so you should just go date and marry that girl that you're really not that into and commit to her for the next 30 years and 40 years that you're alive. Like, that's what you should do. I had a girl when I was 22 or 23. I told her I didn't want to date her before I left for a deployment. And then she said, at this rate, you're probably going to be single until you're 30. And I was like, what's your logic here? Do you think that the best case for me should be to date you and date somebody that I don't like because of risk I'm single when I'm 30? It's just so interesting to me that to see that like a lot of girls can't empathize with the fact that like, you know, dating's hard as is, you know, being compatible with somebody is hard as is. Imagine if you had to like fund that as well and you're supposed to just like enjoy it because that's what we're socialized to do. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But hey, what do you guys think?
And you have a woman in the comments that actually gets it. She says they're probably dating a certain type of guy, to be honest, because I've seen no, and an emphasis on no, shortage of guys in their 30s wanting a serious relationship. A lot of guys lower their standards as they get older. But yeah, the hottest and most charismatic dudes continue to play the field, which is what men said, which is what men continue to say. I mean, continue to tell you that these modern women out here, y'all keep on running into Chad and Tyrone and y'all get mad whenever these men dog you out, but you're not listening. So, well, you know what? Now that they, oh, this is M. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, that makes sense now. She would say this, queer poly babe. Yeah, it makes sense that she would say this. She has some pretty good takes. She has some pretty good takes on stuff.
Okay, I have a question for single men in their 30s who have their life together and just haven't found the one yet. for some reason. So if I was a single lady in my 30s and I wanted to meet you, where would be the best place to go? Just asking for a friend. Please let me know in the comments. Thanks.
In the past 5 years, I've realized that being single is the best option for me. A relationship is not worth it in America. The reason why I say this is because it don't matter what spectrum you're on as a man. You could be first spectrum, an attractive man. An attractive man will not have longevity with a woman that he's attracted to. Now, for example, say if an attractive man gets with a woman and this woman understands that he had options before. She understands that this man has freedoms as a single man to where he's not in need, he's not in lack. She is less likely to want to stay with him for long term speaking. Maybe the lust part of it, maybe she's sexually drawn to him, but when it's coming to security and the longevity of her relationship, she doesn't want to be with more of an attractive man because she understands she has to compete with other women for the entirety of that relationship. She would more so get a less attractive man for a marriage because that comes with the security of her being and knowing that she is his best option. He's going to praise her. He's going to buy her gifts, buy her flowers, buy her roses, and give her all of these things that she thinks she really wants until she realizes that she has no sexual drive or no sexual passion towards this dude. So she might like that simp for a little minute, that runner-up for a little minute, but then over time realizes that there's no sexual desire. And then she gets attracted to a man like me that's more of an attractive dude, has options, has been single, having his way in life. So it don't matter what spectrum you are as a man in America, it's going to be rough trying to date a woman in this modern day and age. Women are more receptive to drama opposed to good. So if you are a good man and you're providing everything that she wants, you know, buying her clothes, paying for her nails, hair, all this simp shit, yeah, she's going to receive all of that. But in the long term, she's not going to really like you. She's not really going to have that fire for you. She's not going to be passionate about you. She's going to get bored. Just like Ayesha Curry did. Is men out here that haven't touched their woman in a whole year, which is crazy to me to even hear. But it's because they've been providing. She got addicted to being provided for, but never had that fire for you. She keeps coming back constantly because she knows that you are a resource that continuously disperses what she wants. But a man like me is not going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need. And it takes a specific type of woman to really be drawn to me, and which is great because I'm not for everybody. And I don't think men in my caliber are for everybody. You know, it takes a specific type of woman to really deal with me. So what I'm saying is, no matter what spectrum you're on as a man, it's going to be tough out here to date in America. You just really got to find somebody who really respects and honors you and motivates you to do more. Don't try and find a woman that matches your hustle or matches your money, because you're going to find a headstrong, dominant woman that's not really going to be there to provide what you really need. Stay chosen.
And you have men saying, dating was better 20 years ago. You have guys saying social media ruined dating. You have guys saying wealthy and single is heavenly. And a lot of men, when they see that, they're not going to disagree. Compared to having to go out and, as many people say, chase a bill, and it's just not worth it. And as you can see the look on his face, that's how most men are. That's the look that most men have. A lot of modern women think that men are bitter, but men are just reserved to the fact or the idea that, you know, modern women don't really reciprocate. They don't know how to date. They're not emotionally intelligent themselves. So why is it that I'm expending so many resources? Why is it that I'm spending so much money on these modern women and they don't even care about me. $1,000 within the span of 3 or 4 weeks is crazy work. That's crazy work. That's somebody's rent, dude. That's insane to even be out here spending $400 or $500 on a woman that you don't even know is insane. And people, when they stop to think about it, they're like, yeah, man, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Trying to impress a woman. Trying to show you that you can protect and provide. But overdoing it, and she don't even appreciate it.
I've never been in a relationship before.
You've never been, never
like an official title. You're my girlfriend. I'm her boyfriend. Never.
Never. And how old are you?
I'm 30.
Why do you feel like that's the case?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I really, really want people to like really lock in and pay attention, because I know from just saying, oh, I've never been in a relationship before, everybody's already ready to discredit everything that I said previously.
For sure.
From the jump, right?
Yeah.
And I think for one, like getting a PhD and like spending intentional time studying, it equips me with the ability to understand patterns, understand psychology, understand experiences that people have. So I'm able to critically think and be able to speak about relationships. And you also learn that just because somebody has a relationship doesn't mean they're equipped with the knowledge to be able to talk about relationships.
Facts.
For one. The reason why I've never been in a relationship, for one, is multiple reasons, right? And I could give you all the lists, but I would say like the one through point is because I never felt like I was good enough. I was the man who, growing up, always felt like I had to be a provider. I had to be the best. I had to be the strongest, the smartest, because I never got attention just being myself. I'm an only child. I was the youngest in my family as far as cousins. I felt like I grew up being very misunderstood, unheard, unseen. So it created this insecurity for me that whenever it came to women, it was like, I don't really know how to handle this.
Right.
And when I say I don't know how to handle this, as an only child, I learned my worth through production and producing.
Okay.
Producing an achievement. So what I mean by that is if I had the best grades, if I was the best basketball player,
We know exactly what you mean. And this is what I was saying a minute ago. If you would ask the right questions, then you can see where that man is. Like he said, man, I've read this, I've read that. And, this is how I feel about relationships. I want to be in one, but, I don't know if I'm doing enough. And that's where the woman comes in and says, no, you are doing enough. But a lot of times these modern women, they'll come in and say, yeah, you're right. You ain't doing enough. You don't have $200,000 yet. That's the bare minimum.
I'm going to read off a profile that expresses a sentiment amongst women that I believe complicates the men as provider conversation. Female, late 20s, based in the US, hospital administration. Average looking in my opinion. I'm looking for someone who is similar to me in looks. Prefer if he's over 5'10", but that's not a deal breaker. Ideally, I'd prefer not to relocate, but will consider it on a case-by-case basis. I would like someone who has a provider mindset, as I do not plan on working after marriage. Someone who earns a take-home of $200,000 at minimum. I also expect him to take part in household duties equally. If we decide to have children, he must be an active father, taking an equal role as myself. I mean, I'm not a man, but I don't know who would take this. It's profiles like this that sometimes tell me how little self-awareness people have, where they think they should be getting something, but they haven't really thought out why this person would choose them. She has her set of requirements, which aren't particularly compromising for what she's bringing to the table. And then on top of that, she wants someone who is a provider, she is not really willing to relocate for. And then on top of that, she wants him to take equal part in household duties and in raising their children. Now, while even provider men should take part in household duties and in being active fathers, at some point, they won't have the capacity to be able to do so if they are financially providing for your family. Like, are we missing the fact that he will have to put his time, effort, and energy, and probably a significant amount of it, towards providing for your family financially, especially in these times? And then if you want to have him do things equally with you at home, even though you are not working and even though you don't have any children right now, I just don't know how that would seem to make sense to someone. But interestingly, this is a pretty common sentiment. And I understand kind of the background of this, where women have historically been saddled with a lot of the household work. But at the same time, this is kind of pushing it in the very opposite end of the spectrum. Traditional gender roles may give you the ick, which is why you were expecting equal participation from your husband in anything household related. However, when you are asking for a provider husband, you're essentially opting into traditional gender roles yourself. And honestly, I can see why some men who present themselves as providers come with a layer of trepidation, because at some point, because of this pushback on traditional gender roles, partnership is thrown out the window, and the expectation from what's required of them just becomes unrealistic.
And what's so crazy about it is, if you go to the comments, modern women really don't see anything outside of themselves. This woman says, I don't see how her wanting a present father is an issue. LOL. Well, being a present father isn't the issue. It's you wanting him to work full time, that many hours, be a provider. He's going to have to make money, be a provider, and then come home and do a lot of the work. So it says household chores are a lot. He only has one job of providing. Of course. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Once again, modern women, when it comes to what they do, they downplay what a man has to do. They downplay how hard he has to work to get to where he gets, or where he is. He says, I don't know why people are acting like she is asking for him to do entirely, for him to entirely do everything. The name calling and rushing to degrade her in the comments is insane. If someone is making that amount and living alone, you already are doing everything on your own. So I'm confused that it's an issue for him to do half of what he was doing before. Even if y'all don't agree with this, opinion should be stated in a respectful manner, not by shaming them. Well, I mean, before I read this comment that was perfectly said, well, let me read the comment first. The guy says, he responded and said, she wants someone who works full time and does half the housework so she can work 0 time and do half the housework. Does that help put it into perspective for you? Exactly. So he's going to work full time, then come home and do half of the work while you don't work at all, but then you do half of the housework. So he's got a job and then he's doing overtime while you're working part-time. That's essentially what that is. I don't know why that's so hard to understand. Another guy says it's not about degrading her. It's about understanding capacity. Working full-time and providing at a high level isn't the same thing as living alone and splitting chores casually. If the man were living alone, then a lot of those chores he wouldn't have. He probably wouldn't even have a kid. So he wouldn't even be cleaning up after himself, because he would, if he's a high value man, he's not even there. Number one. Number two, well, a man at all. It doesn't even matter if you're a high value man. I know a lot of these modern women want you to believe that men are dirty, they're messy, they don't take care of themselves. But then when you walk into their apartment, it's clean. It's not a lot going on. I got my TV. I got a couple pictures here and there. I got a couch. You know, it's nice. It's pretty good for what it is. Could it be improved? Maybe, as far as decor goes, but everything is where it's supposed to be. I know you guys don't understand that men actually consume content. That's how they know you're being stupid. But when they see the content, like say for instance, maybe another man or even a woman is putting their house together, the man says, oh man, that's man, I like that. And he goes out and he gets it, or he makes it, or he gets something like it and he puts it in his house. Okay, they put it over here. I'm gonna put it over here. Actually, I want it over here. And over time, their apartment looks great. Pretty great. I know there's always improvements, but it looks pretty good. Essentially, you guys don't seem to understand that men they wouldn't have that work without you, or with you. If you weren't there, they wouldn't have that work. So he's essentially taking you on, and that's what men mean by you're another bill. He's taking you on, and now he has more work, and now you're asking him to do more while you do less. How is that hard to understand?
Most single women over 50 won't admit this, but here's the real truth. Yeah, we can go out, we have fun, we travel, we go out with the girls, we go to yoga, some of you are playing pickleball, tennis, we have great lives, we pay our own bills, we afford our own homes. But at the end of the day, when you come home late at night to an empty house, or maybe even your dog, it's fucking lonely. And I know because it hit me hard. I went to Mexico, a women's retreat. I came home filled with love, connection, gratitude, embodiment, empowerment. When I walked in that door and it was dark, and yeah, my dog was there and I love him so much, but it was lonely. And then I slipped and fell in the bathroom and I was all alone and I was scared. So the truth is, having a partner.
These two black guys came up to us and we shook hands, and it was the first time I ever touched a black person.
So what brings you guys out here?
Just to, see the beach.
Where you guys from?
Heard it's nice. Pennsylvania.
I think they were awesome. Like, they were interested in where we're from and what we're doing, and yeah, they were cute little black guys.
You guys kosher? You guys Jewish, right?
No, we're Amish.
Amish, oh.
For most Amish people, a white girl should not date a black guy. My mom actually said that. That you don't see one kind of birds hooking up with another kind of birds. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Were you about to see birds hooking up today? Because these women, they're going. These women, yeah. You lost them, Doc.
Nothing pisses me off more than when a man that looks like the shit on the bottom of my shoe is like, hey, can I take you out?
And that's what I mean by delusion. That's what I mean by delusion. That's why a lot of you are still single. That's why y'all be getting cheated on. Because you refuse this guy who asked you out properly because he ain't that cute. Yeah, you're gonna go out with the fucking bum who probably has like a six-pack, got no fucking job, ends up cheating on you. Then you complain that all men is shit, right? And then you talk about how men need to love women no matter what, how they look, how they act. You need to love them. Some of y'all need to get the fuck out of this delusion, honestly, and grow the fuck up and get rid of that nasty ass entitlement that y'all have. This shit is sickening.
Hi.
Once another officer gets here, we're gonna go in there and we'll get her out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we just walked in, heard the shower going, and the door is closed. So I didn't physically see her.
Okay.
But you could hear there's somebody in there.
Are the doors open still?
Yeah, I left it unlocked.
Okay. You give us permission to go inside?
Yes,
you want her charged and everything like that? Fantastic. You guys just want to hang out here? Well, I'm sure we're going to talk to you after this, okay? So, front door is open. They walked in, they heard the shower going and the door's closed. She said going in. She's trespassing. Yeah, she said we could go in.
Hello? Hello?
What?
Munster Police Department.
How can I help you?
You come on out, we need to talk to you.
How can I help you, sir?
You come out here, we need to talk to you, right?
Yes, sir. I just got in and I just left for station. You guys came to my house a couple of nights ago, and I had to go through
Put your clothes on. Put your
okay,
clothes
I'm
on.
just letting
Put your clothes on.
keep walking in my house.
Put your clothes on. Put your clothes on.
Okay, so
Put your clothes on.
Okay.
No, stop talking. Put your clothes on.
Okay, can you step outside?
No,
okay,
put your
one
clothes on.
second.
Put your clothes on right there. Put your clothes on.
I'm going to clear the rest because I know she has a son, so I'm going to make sure he's not here.
Just get your clothes on and step out. Put your clothes on.
You guys keep walking into my home.
Put your clothes on. Step out.
I definitely will, sir, but it's all just against the law.
You're right, it is.
Huh?
You're right, it is.
It really is. And this is my house, sir, and I shouldn't be having to prove that. And you guys all know it. All these officers are trying to know while they're trying to get right. You guys are abusing just like everybody else. I just left their station. Just now.
Did you feel that way?
Same exact thing. And I have been here faithfully since the month of August.
How does she keep getting back in? Where's she in?
She's in the bathroom.
No, the
Clean to the Jeep. Get your clothes on.
Did she get evicted or?
She's never lived here.
Never lived here?
She has no associations with this home.
I mean, yes, I'm not doing anything illegal. I just left. Here, hold on, I need to turn around. Sir, I just left your department to pick up my keys. I just came from there. I just moved in as of August. You guys are the ones that hold me in. I'm trying to figure everything out. You guys aren't at the office, and you guys are coming through my door. I'm not illegal. You can run me, and you can look it up. I gave you all of the information, and I have to go back to get my property. That's it. You guys are walking into my residence like I don't live here. I'm not.
I'm right here.
I'm just saying, I'm just now coming home. You guys just did this, and you guys are the ones, the village is the ones that helped me to get in here. So you know I'm not illegal.
Yeah, this is an application for employment.
Well, I just left your village is what I'm trying to tell you. I have my information, and you guys got some as well. And it should be in your computer system, sir. This is not illegal. Only thing is, I have to get to I'm going to the B&B in the morning. I'm sorry. I'm going in the morning because you guys have something, a glitch in the system somewhere. I'm getting up B&B early in the morning so I can get all the documents, so I can get everything transferred over. Until then, I can't do anything until you guys are open. You guys are closed, and you guys are kicking in the door.
We didn't kick in nothing.
Well, I mean, you're standing in the door.
Do you have a house key or something?
Yeah, and yes, and it's in your property. Could you take me? I can definitely give it to you, and I will open my door.
Do you have stop shouting.
I'm sorry.
You're staying, right here.
I understand, officer.
Room is echoing?
Yes, I have keys to the front door. I have keys to my back. I have keys to the entire place.
Do you have a copy of the lease agreement?
Well, I purchased this home. I purchased this home from somebody a couple of years ago, and I just moved in August. So she doesn't live.
Who is the somebody?
She's from the Sotheby's Realty. She doesn't even live in Illinois. I don't even know where she is. She just called me with congratulations. I got my key. I got in, and I've been here. But if you want to, you can take me to the station through my property. I promise you, I will come back. I will open my I will open my front door, my back door, everything for you with the key.
You purchased this house?
Yes, I did, sir.
I just got my key. I got in and I've been here. Does not sound like you should be there. It doesn't sound like you should be there. I guess that's the thing.